there are 5 universal dysfunctions that can pretty much ruin any team. So in this video I will go through them all. Hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
The Five Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. So I would say this is pretty much a must read for any leader that deals with the team. And there's actually an additional second sequel for this book called Overcoming the Five Dysfunctions of a Team. So this is more like a field guide that has different exercises on how to overcome these dysfunctions. But anyway, let's go through this. So here are the 5 dysfunctions. So first one is the inattention to results, avoidance of accountability, lack of commitment, fear of conflict, and then the last one is absence of trust. So as difficult as it is to build a cohesive team, it's not nothing complicated. It's not rocket science. Pretty much like keeping it really simple really matters, and it doesn't matter what the size of the team or the organization is, because these same principles still apply. So this is what actually can keep the team performing, by really putting attention to these 5 specific things. So if you can actually handle these dysfunctions, then it's pretty much evident that you're going to be having an effective team. So number 1, absence of trust. So this basically means that you're unwilling to be vulnerable within the group. So what does it mean? So it means that you actually conceal weaknesses and mistakes from another. You hesitate to ask help or provide constructive feedback. You hesitate to ask for help outside your own areas of responsibility, or you jump to conclusions about the intentions and aptitudes of others without really attempting to clarify them, or you just fail to recognize and tap into one another's skills and experiences, waste time and energy managing their behavior for effect, or hold grudges, or dread meetings and find reasons to avoid spending time together. And the bottom line pretty much is that if you're going to be in a team together, we have to be able to trust each other. So trusting one another on a really just fundamental emotional level, and really being comfortable in being vulnerable with each other is really about admitting your own weaknesses, mistakes, fears, and behavior. If we can do this, then it's much easier, because we don't need to beat around the bushes, and we can actually get straight to the point, because we can be completely open with another without any kind of filters. So trust is the fundamental foundation of teamwork, and building trust takes time, and it is never ever complete. It's actually something that must be maintained. Even if we have been working for some small whiles for some time together with our team, but let's say that we already trust each other, but okay, something unexpected happens, and then we don't deal with it accordingly, and maybe some behavior that doesn't behave well, and we as leaders don't confront and mistake that behavior, then it's gonna hurt trust. So trust is something that actually has to be maintained. So next is fear of conflict. So seeking artificial harmony over constructive, passionate debate. So yeah, members of teams fear this conflict, and it typically means that we're going to be having boring meetings. We create this environment where there can be back-channel politics and personal attacks, or we just ignore the controversial topics. We fail to tap into all the opinions and perspectives of team members. We waste time and energy with posturing and interpersonal risk management. So teams that actually trust one another are not afraid to engage in passionate dialogue around issues and decisions that are key to the organization's growth and success. So they don't hesitate to disagree with or challenge or question one another, and all in the spirit of finding answers, discovering the truth, and making great decisions. Conflict is good when it is handled like appropriately. So good conflict among like team members, it really requires trust even among the best teams, and conflict can be uncomfortable. It must be discussed what really the process is. But I mean, absolutely, I mean, it doesn't mean that you should never have conflict if you have a great team. No, I mean, it's actually the opposite. Like, it's much more likely that you're having these healthy debates and open dialogue, and really it tends to happen like these conflicts when people really care and they're really passionate about their topic and their work that they actually do. Okay, but next is lack of commitment. So feigning buy-in for group decisions creates ambiguity throughout the organizations. Okay, what does that mean? Well, that means, I mean, there's got to be ambiguity among the team about direction and priority, and what's in these windows of opportunity closed due to excessive analysis and unnecessary delay. And it really breeds lack of confidence and fear of failure. And this means that we are just going to be having discussions like over and over again. Well, so we are simply unable to make decisions. So it really encourages this second question. So we might actually make a decision, but okay, then someone second guesses it. So we are actually unable to commit to the decisions that we made. So on the other hand, I mean, like teams that actually engage in unfiltered conflict are able to achieve genuine buy-in around important decisions, even when various members of the team initially disagree. That's because they ensure that all opinions and ideas are put on the table and considered, giving confidence to the team members that no stone has been left unturned. So I really like what there was about one team. This was actually executive board. So one outside member said that, oh my god, I mean, these people cannot like agree on anything. I mean, there's all the time like just have different opinions, and they're all the time like having a lot of debates, but they have no problem whatsoever in actually making decisions. So that means that once they actually discuss it and agree to make a decision, then after that point everyone stands behind that decision. So commitment requires clarity and buy-in, but does not require consensus. So it doesn't mean that everyone has all the time need to agree that this is the best way to do it. No, I mean, it means that we agree that this is what we are going to do right now, because the decision has been made already. So now it's time to commit to it. Next is avoidance of accountability. So really ducking the responsibility to call peers on counterproductive behavior, which then sets low standards. So this means creating resentment among team members who have different standards of performance. It encourages really mediocrity, and we are probably going to miss deadlines and key deliverables. And we actually place undue burden on team leader as the sole source of discipline, and that's definitely not the behavior of a great team where the leader pretty much like handles it all. So teams that commit to decisions and standards of performance do not hesitate to hold one another accountable for adhering to those decisions and standards. And what is more, that they don't rely on the team leader as the primary source of accountability. They go directly to their peers. So accountability occurs directly among peers, and the leader must be willing to confront friends and peers. Accountability should occur frequently during meetings and following up on goals. So next is inattention to results, focusing on personal success, status, and ego before the team success. Okay, I mean, if we have this kind of behavior, then our team is going to stagnate and really fail to grow, and we are rarely are going to defeat our competitors. We are really lose these achievement-oriented leaders, and we encourage team members to focus on their own intentions and personal goals, and we are easily distracted. So on the other hand, like teams that trust another, engage in conflict, commit to decisions, and hold one another accountable are very likely to set aside their individual needs and agendas and focus almost exclusively on what is best for the team. So they do not give in to the temptations to place their organization, personal aspirations, or ego-driven status ahead of the collective results that define the team success. So a great team will accomplish the goals it set out by prioritizing, staying focused, and putting individual needs under group goals. Okay, so now we had discussed these 5 functions, but next we are going to be discussing how to actually overcome these. So, number 1, building trust. I mean, we have to have a common understanding to what trust truly means. So, on a team, trust is about vulnerability, which is difficult for most people. So, the key ingredient is building trust. It's not time, it is actually courage. And asking team members to be too vulnerable too quickly is not only unfair, it often provokes resistance that is hard to overcome later. So building trust takes time, but the process and can actually be greatly accelerated. And like a good marriage, trust on a team is never complete. It must be maintained over time. Then mastering conflict. How do we do that? I mean, good conflict among team members requires trust, which is all about engaging in unfiltered, passionate debate around issues. The leader is going to have to be ready to not only light the fuse of good conflict, but to gently fan the flames for a while too. And I mean, conflicts can be uncomfortable. I mean, it's just natural human behavior that, okay, sometimes it just doesn't feel good. I mean, usually we are fine in having debates, but sometimes this feels really awkward. So we actually must understand that sometimes it can be like this. And then, I mean, conflict norms, though they will vary from team to team, must be discussed and made clear among the team. So the fear of occasional personal conflict should not deter a team from having regular productive debate. So that means that we absolutely need to have rules how we how we deal with conflict. And one key thing there is that there should definitely never ever be any like personal attacks accepted. So the lack of conflict is precisely the cause of one of the biggest problems that meetings have. They are boring. So conflicts are good. So commitment requires clarity and buy-in. So how do we actually achieve this commitment? I mean, when we have clarity, it requires that teams avoid these assumptions and ambiguity, and that they end discussions with clear understanding about what they have decided upon. So one thing is definitely like developing this behavior. And most people don't really need to have their ideas adopted in order to buy into a decision. I mean, typically we as human beings, we just want to be heard. We want to like make sure that other people actually listen to our ideas. So we are heard, we are understood and considered, and then explained within the context of the ultimate decision. So, I mean, typically we don't need to win. We just need to be able to like pitch in and present these different ideas. So, I mean, buy-in does not require consensus, and members of great teams learn to disagree with one another and still commit to a decision. So, number 4, embracing accountability. So this accountability on a strong team occurs directly among peers. So it's not something that the leader would just hold on. I mean, it has to be like amongst peers as well. So really, for us to have this culture of accountability, I mean, the leader, first of all, must demonstrate this willingness to confront difficult issues. I mean, it's really the worst kind of situations. Like if there's some kind of unwanted behavior within the team, and then if the leader let it slide, then I mean it's just gonna have like really bad impact on the team morale as well. So the most important challenge of building a team where people hold one another accountable is really overcoming the understandable hesitance of human beings to give one another critical feedback. And we can actually help people realize that when they fail to provide peers with constructive feedback, they are letting them down personally. By holding back, you are actually hurting not only the team but teammates as well. So that's really important to understand. So if you see some behavior that is not good and you don't like, you don't talk about it, I mean that's definitely not the behavior of a good team member. So the best opportunity for holding one another accountable occurs during meetings and the regular review of a team score. Team scoreboard provides this clear context for doing so. Then we have our last dysfunction, so focusing on results. So the true measure of a great team is that it accomplishes the results it sets out to achieve. Team have to eliminate ambiguity and interpretation when it comes to success, and really to avoid distractions. Team members must prioritize the results of the team over their individual and departmental needs. And to stay focused, we must publicly clarify the desired results and keep those visible. And that's the last thing is absolutely essential. We have to keep the results visible and our goals. So we need to have different kinds of dashboards that help us do this. And result-oriented teams establish their measurements for success, so they don't allow themselves to the wiggle room of subjectivity. But this is easier said than done, but I mean subjectivity is attractive. So the key to success for a team is that its members go beyond bother and compromise to embrace a collective pursuit of the best interest of the whole. So that's it. That's the 5 dysfunctions and how to actually overcome these dysfunctions.
If you like this topic, then hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We also have a closed group where we discuss these things, so just comment group and we will add you there. See you at the group.